Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel where we are going to talk about how a normal person or a college or school going student can buy a 50 laptop for their self. We know about many terms like UPH, HS, and AMD, ITEL, graphic card. We are mm, know about this all the things, but we get confused which term we should needed in our laptop and why we should buy these all things in our laptop and why these all things are necessary. Welcome, my friends Krishna and Ayush. Now we are going to talk on a topic why we need a processor like U, P, H, HS and HX in our PC and our laptop, and why we use these all things and what it helps in our education or gaming or in video editing and basically also in coding. So could you please explain this term?
So whenever you see these term in the processor at the end, we may get confused what does this mean. So these all tell about your performance, how your laptop will perform. All these letters can be the U, P, HS, H and HX. U is just basic for web browsing and if you want to watch YouTube and all of that kind of stuff. But if you are a college going student or an employee, you should prefer P because that is you might need for coding and basic applications. But if you want gaming, if you have hobby in gaming and video editing, you should go for H. But if you are an professional and professional in gaming and want to do, you should prefer HX. It is basically equal to a desktop.
Yes, I'm totally agree with Krishna that people they if they want to do some high gaming or video editing, they should prefer HX because it is good for them. And if they want to buy if they want to do some normal tasks, then they should prefer UPHHS because it is very cost effective and a good thing, worthy purchase.
Yes, you are right. These all the terms are exactly same, which I want to know, and you have explained it very well. But there is two major company who which companies build these all the processor like Intel and AMD Ryzen. So what should you prefer, the Intel processor or a Ryzen processor? Many one also are confused in they should need to buy Intel processor or they should buy a Ryzen processor. What should you suggest on this?
So if you are a college going student, it may depends on your needs. If you want a single task at a time, not a multiple task, either gaming or video editing or codings like that, so you should prefer Intel because it is best for a single core. And if you want to do multiple tasks at a time, then you should prefer AMD. AMD is much preferable for
But
multitask.
a new term AI is the graphic card. So what does the graphic card stand for and why we need graphic card in our PC or laptop? What should you suggest on this?
Yes, we need a graphic card for high gaming and video editing and rendering purpose because it is a very complicated task that should be performed by a graphic card. And if you want to do some normal uses, for normal uses, you don't need a graphic card. You can normally do basic tasks like coding and you can do some basic level programs like you can do word PowerPoint. You can do many things on basic level. So if you want a high level system, then you use prefer graphic cards.
But
Okay.
remember, graphic cards are much heavier and costly. So if you don't need them, laptops come with integrated graphic card which can be more preferable for you for basic
There is
things.
Okay, there is also a term which we know about, SSD. Before SSD, we are using hard disks in our PCs and laptop. We also know about that. But nowadays we are using SSD. So what do you suggest on SSD? Which gen SSD a buyer, a student should buy for their working or their basic task?
SSD are much more faster than HDD hard disk, but they are even more costlier. But nowadays, you should prefer SSD for with less storage than HDD with high storage, because SSD is now more preferable.
Krishna, you have said about the SSD and difference between SSD and hard disk, that are exactly the same what you have spoken about that. Now nowadays there are many generations of SSDs coming, like Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5. Which should we prefer for student or for gaming or high code tasking? Would you say anything on?
Yes, in today times, there are SSD comes in various generations like Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5. For average purpose, we use commonly Gen 4 generation, and for high tasking, we should prefer Gen 5 because it can do complicated things. We have to do complicated things in that, so we prefer a high level tasking program, that is Gen 5.
Yes, it's basically depend on our needs. Like normal, for doing normal task, we can purchase Gen 4, and for high task, we can prefer for Gen 5. Now we have talked many things about processors and other things. Now we comes to battery. So would anyone want to?
If you are taking a gaming laptop, then you will get 3 to 4 hour battery, and if you are taking for normal tasks, then you will get 6 to 8 hours battery. So it totally depends on what are your task and what you want to do with it.
Yes, it's also depend on which type of laptop we are purchasing. Like you have already told about this. We can consider some laptop like HP, Dell, Lenovo, Asus, Acer comes with best segment and price it at this time, and many people are using the laptop and its service center are also available. If you are going to buy your first laptop, are you thinking to buy a laptop? So my best suggestion is that you should prefer authorized showroom. Don't buy your laptop by a local vendor, by Flipkart, Amazon. And if you are at least getting a problem in purchasing laptop, you can basically comment us in our comment box. We and our team will try to help you to buy a new laptop. Thanks.